Well, after some pretty wild weather here in Montana the last couple weeks, we were able to get out today. We took a drive, 287 Loop, Montana Highway 287, starting from the top of the Ennis Hill, where you can see the Madison Range pretty good. And then we ended up driving by the Madison River across town in Ennis, and then we headed on out toward Whitehall. So we're going on the east side of the tobacco routes, and then this will end up in Whitehall. I'll have a map here to show you exactly the drive we took. Now, I'm not really big on new development and fancy homes and stuff like that, so pretty much I'm trying to capture Montana as I once knew it, where there was really nothing around. And you can still see some of the great places in Montana. And I especially like that loop because you're actually seeing the east side of the tobacco routes. I live on the west side over where you get really kind of a completely different weather system. It's a little more severe over there in Ennis. They get all that cold air that comes down in between the Madison Range and the tobacco routes off of the Gravelies and off of the Madison Range. And of course, with the Madison River running through there, they get a lot more snow. But today was just gorgeous. It was, I don't know, it was like around 20 degrees, but the last 2 or 3 days prior to this, our temperatures were 45 degrees above zero, whereas 1 week before that, it was 45 degrees below zero. So we wanted to take advantage of the nice day, and I hope you enjoy the drive. I just tried to hit some of the highlights. And this is Montana. You never know what we're going to have. So come on along for the ride.
Okay, so now we're going up the other Ennis hill toward Norris. You'll be able to see Norris and on out over toward Whitehall when we are at the top of the hill. Okay, so that's Norris from a distance. And we'll just show you a little bit of the town. Well, that's all of the town actually. We'll just drive through it here and let this run. Check out this big radio there on the left. Boombox. To the right here, it takes you to Norris Hot Springs and then on around the Madison River. And you can take the Amsterdam Road on and get over to Four Corners near Bozeman. We're just going to go straight ahead toward Pony and Harrison after this. And then we'll take the cutoff road. So that's where we're headed. Still a little bit of Norris here. Not a whole lot here. Kind of a neat little town. And those are the tobacco roots, foothills off to the left. Still have some old ranch buildings there every now and then along this road. That is the east side of the tobacco roots. And up ahead there is Pony. We won't be going up into Pony, but just before you get to Harrison, you can take a left and go on up into those mountains to a little town called Pony. Pony is where the main mercantile was, the store where they would get all of their supplies back in the 1860s during the big gold rush boom. And that's up off to the left there. All right, so this is Harrison, Montana. That's the road to Pony right there to the left. And we'll just let this run as we take a drive through Pony. This is Willow Creek that we're crossing over. Leads down into the Jefferson River, which of course, as you know, the Jefferson is one of the rivers for the beginning of the Missouri River. Here's Harrison. Oh, excuse me, here's the road to Pony. Pretty nice school here. Kids from all over the rural area come in for school here at Harrison if they don't go to Ennis. Is that about the smallest bank? It's just an ATM. This used to be a pretty good restaurant. You need a place to eat along the road. There's not always a lot of eating places. Yeah, looks like they're still open, 7 to 2. Pretty hard to get help anymore in Montana. Nobody wants to work, it seems, so a lot of the restaurants had to close. Well, that's pretty much Harrison for you. There's North Willow Creek. All right, so now we're just gonna cruise along this road. We're actually heading north. You can keep going this way and in about a couple hours get up to Helena. So we're going to turn left here, take this cut-off road over to Whitehall. See some nice countryside again. Lewis and Clark Caverns aren't too far from here. So this is 359. And I'll just show you some periodic shots from here on into Whitehall. Now up ahead where you can see the cutout there, right there, that is Golden Sunlight Mine from a distance. You can see where they've cut away the mountain. They've done a pretty good job with restoration, but of course the mountainside is still scarred. And Golden Sunlight Mine has been one of the sole economic basis for Whitehall over the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years. They open and close now and then, and well, they closed down about a year ago and then they reopened to kind of go through the tailings. We'll be driving by it here and you can kind of see what the mining operation looks like up close. This is still on the cutoff road, but up ahead we'll get closer to it. Coming up we have the big potato operation. They grow most of the seed potatoes for Idaho over here in this part of the country because it's real dry, so they can produce a really good high quality potato here for the seed potatoes in Idaho. You see a lot of the potato farms around this part of Montana. Okay, so there again you can see sunlight, Golden Sunlight mining operation up there where the mountain is scarred. We'll be crossing the Jefferson River up here in a little bit. And you'll be able to see how that's all iced up. You notice there's not a lot of snow around. Well, there is here because we're getting closer to the river, but this week we just had some awesome warm weather, exceptionally warm, 45 degrees for a couple days, so that really melted things. Animals are loving it. Lots of green grass showing now. Here's some of the old-time ranching operations in through here. It's kind of nice to see. Really nothing like what you see in the Yellowstone movie. I don't know where they came up with other ideas, but that's not the old Montana, that's for sure. Okay, so up ahead is Cardwell, Montana. And there is an exit off of I-90 to Cardwell. I believe there's a camping area and a grocery store, or, you know, quick stop. And just up ahead here is the Jefferson River, which we'll cross. Yep, some of the old ranching community again coming up. All right, this is the Jefferson. Well, part of it. There it is. Okay, so now you'll be able to see it pretty good. Right there. Pretty well iced over. Looks like there's some open water. Not too much though. Okay, so this is Cardwell. There's a school. This is really close to I-90. Of course, I-90 is one of the main interstates. You go to the right, you get to Bozeman. Go to the left, you get to Butte, Whitehall, all those places. There's some more of golden sunlight mining area. Straight up that way, you can take Highway 69 and head up to Helena. You go through Boulder, Montana. And then you get on I-15 and go up to Helena. All right, that's the interstate. Turn right here, get to Bozeman. All right. Now we're on the frontage road. We'll be getting to Whitehall pretty quick. This is some close-up going along by Golden Sunlight mining operation. They're not working right now, obviously. It's too cold. They don't do too much this time of year. That was Highway 69 off to the right that we just passed. Pretty big operation. It's been going on for, oh gosh, I don't know, 20 years, 30, maybe 30 years even. Yeah, I remember it was a pretty big deal when they first proposed that. Nobody, of course, wanted them to cut into the mountain. They pulled a lot of gold out of there. You can kind of see how they've done restoration. And then they'll seed that and it'll all just look like foothills eventually. I understand why they call it golden sunlight mining operation. I drove by just the other day, and those hills, when the sun hits it and the sun's going down, they are literally gold, bright gold. Well, this is just to kind of give you a sense of what it's like if you're driving around Montana. Lots of country to see. All right, this is the frontage road. Heads on toward Whitehall. And we're getting kind of near the end of this. I don't know how much more filming I did. I think I got some more pictures here. And oh yeah, we do drive through Whitehall, the street, the main street off the frontage road is called Legion. Watch your speed if you're going through there. They got cops. They'll pull you over. This is 55 on this frontage road. There you can see the Highlands again. I've done a lot of videos of them, done a lot of paintings of the Highlands. From Butte, you can see them really well. Butte is on the other side of them off to the right. Oh, there's a stack. That stack that was never used. I think I got it. There you go. They were going to have a big beet processing operation here in Whitehall, but that never did happen. That stack was built decades and decades ago. So it's kind of an icon for Whitehall. Now we are approaching Whitehall. There was an old Ford Motor Company sales showroom off to the left, which doesn't exist. Yep, this is Whitehall. We're heading west. You can see how windy it is. Those flags are going straight across. Whitehall is usually always windy, but it's somewhat a little bit warmer than Butte. Well, somewhat, usually quite a bit warmer than Butte, but windy. Quite a lot of cars here today. It's a Thursday, so kind of a normal working day. There, 33 degrees today. Wow, that's warm. It was 20 when we left. I think it was about 20 when we got back up the valley a little ways. Yep, so this is Whitehall. They have a nice park here on the left and a great farmers market in the summertime. They actually have a movie theater, and they do still use it and show movies. I don't know if they play every night or just on the weekends. Oh, just Friday and Saturday and a Sunday matinee. The railroad does run through Whitehall. All right, we're going to be turning to the right here. This is kind of the main road off the interstate. I just let this run a little bit. Again, we'll be heading up toward I-90 just to show you where you get back on the interstate. We like taking the back roads whenever possible. It's not always possible, but we knew the roads were going to be open and unicy for the first time in quite a while, so we thought we'd take advantage of the nice roads. Yeah, the other day the storm was so bad, and one day there were 240 accidents in Montana. All right, this is back on the main street, Legion, heading out. If you keep going on this road, you go to Butte. And we'll be turning left, heading up toward Twin Bridges. So when you turn left here, as we are doing, it's actually called 55, but it is part of the 287 loop. That's just the old highway name. So you turn left right here, as we're doing, go across the tracks and you'll head up, and that's how you get to Virginia City. So yeah, just keep heading up this road, and also you can get over to Dillon too. So although I'm not going to show it on this map, here's a sign. It shows you Dillon's not too far, 50 miles. Twin Bridges is 26, so we're heading up that way, but I'm going to wrap this up here. I just wanted to show you a few shots yet of the Tobacco Root Mountains on the left. Now that's the Highland Mountains here. That's west. Now we are on the west side of the Tobacco Root Mountains. The earlier footage was exactly on the other side of those mountains, on the other side there. That's where we came from. So this is the west side of the Tobacco Root Mountains. That, you see anything there? You see a face in there? That was known as Indian head. It looks just like an Indian head, but I guess now it's not politically correct to say that. I'll always think of it like that. But different angles you can see, like his feathers and everything. Now I guess you're supposed to call it Man Mountain or something like that. Anyway, this is straight ahead. In that opening is Virginia City. Well, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate that. Do subscribe if you want to see